We're not quite yet, are we?
Oh, mate,
Got it.
hold on to your testicles. We're about to be.
Cool. We are now live.
I had my first drink since I started my challenge. You should see how fucking jacked I am, dude.
Anyway, welcome to the Eski couch. It's Dr. James here. I got brother Timmy on the left. I got brother Connor with me. Jangus has dropped in for the old time's sake, and Kaiser's having his first drink of the day. So what's Kaiser's drink? What's Kaiser's skull work going to be tonight, boys? We've got to do this. He's had a couple of weeks off since he's been trying to lean up.
Well, looking at that layout that you're going to discuss tonight, I think the special word should be snake.
Snake,
if that,
right?
If that doesn't get said 50,000 times in today's talk.
Right, Kaiser, you're on. Whenever you hear the word snake, you got to empty that glass, big boy.
No, I can't do that. My results are too elite, dude. I've lost 8 kilos of fat in 10 days. My arms, my abs are looking. I'm absolutely jacked. I'm having a scotch. That's it.
Yeah. Responsibility from Kaiser. Hey.
Yeah, I'm absolutely addicted to the results I've got.
Nice.
More than I'd rather. I'm literally fucking on. My body is ridiculous. I'm not going to show it off, but I will in a couple of weeks.
Thank Christ.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's speak of results. Let's speak of results. I'm
going to have a scotch.
I noticed you did bring the bottle with you though, so it's not really going to be a scotch, is it?
Shut up.
A bottle. Hey, you can designate a glass, a bottle.
Yeah.
A scotch.
Well, A750
as long as she sticks with the same brand, it could still be a scotch.
Yeah. Welcome to the
world, Cedric. Welcome to the world, Cedric.
The technicalities.
Yeah. My problem was I used to think that 8-year scotch meant you had to drink it for 8 years, not let it age for 8 years. So we will go on results, and we're going to start off with Connor. Results from New Zealand on the weekend. Fill us in, mate.
Honestly, really, really good weekend. It started to get a little bit wet and rainy on the Sunday, which was kind of fun. But yeah, we did have 5 teams out, so it was a small event. Obviously, Auckland's still sort of in lockdown, and a lot of people are kind of cautious to travel.
Yep.
Did have Immortal Knights come up from Christchurch, so one of my sponsored teams, which was really cool. And I gifted on a team called CZ Factory, which is from Dunedin. This was like a well throw together of 2 actual members of CZ Factory. One of them's B-Man, who's 70 years old, still playing hard. Still somehow can like make it to the snake, like genuinely really, really cool guy. We actually had 2 new guys from Rarotonga who's actually, they got stuck here during lockdown, so they've just taken up paintball. So yeah, it was a really, really fun one. There was a team called Defiance from up north, and then Expendables and Manawatu Titans, which were kind of the same team, and just kind of flipped a little bit of the roster with some new guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, well and truly awesome event. Like real nice and casual. Paint shot great the whole weekend. My luck shot great whole weekend. I think I only broke like 1 ball. I was like, cool, nice. Right, happy days.
And there's a rumor going around a certain little ranger got MVP, huh?
Yeah, boy. Yeah. No, I played lights out. Look, I was not cocky.
Well done, brother.
Which I've struggled
not cocky,
with
but I played lights out.
I played lights out. Hey, man, I got some nice 4-packs. But no, I just generally, like, I know we've talked about this before, but like I'm a real competitive person. So if I don't do well, it gets me.
Yep.
But I thought, hey, look, just go out and have fun. Like there's guys who've never really played before. So I was like, well, let's just make sure they have fun, make sure everyone else has fun. And if I have fun, hopefully I play well.
Did you learn that lesson, Connor?
Yeah.
That lesson, bro. Had fun, relaxed, and you played lights out. So
yep.
Me and Timmy don't, we understand that, don't we, Tim? It's not the end of the world if we don't play well at all, is it?
No.
Yeah. Nah. So it was
we
good.
play for fun all the time. It's always really fun.
Yeah. It is. Legitly, it is. Yeah. Winning means fun, so it means I have to win.
Until it's not.
Yeah.
And just remember that old saying, winning is more fun than having fun. It's fun. Just remember that. So
yeah. So getting MVP, that was good. Got to win an SLR as well, so I was pretty happy.
What
That's
was
cool, man.
what was second prize, mate? 2 SLRs?
No, I think it was a pair of pants, which also went to a guy from my team actually. So it was cool.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Is that like the first event you've had a like proper event?
In a long while, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's been good.
Crazy.
But it was really nice to just get back into it and just get back out there. A bit of like casual competition.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool. Timmy, give us the lowdown.
So we had our very last round of the NXLs for over here. So the only full series of anything anywhere in both our country and Connors, which is kind of cool. Same 6 teams. That said, though, I know Western Storm were struggling for numbers, so it was cool to have a few people jump in to help out. One of the mums jumped in to play with them, Sue. So shout out to Sue if she's watching. She plays bushball anyway, and she has been out with the boys before, but this was her first actual proper event. And I know the Tyrants threw one of their new guys to the Storm boys as well to keep them afloat. So that was really cool to see people jumping in to help out. Sammy McNamara came back and had a game, was able to play for the first time in 1962 years. He played with Pure, so with Daniel Carter. So fun fact for everyone, Dan Carter used to play with Wasp, Evil Wasp. In recent years, people would have seen him with Menace over in the sevens. Carter is the longest active player in WA, playing active player. Sammy follows him up by a couple of months. And in the 25-something years that they've been playing, have never played together. So they played together for the first time on the weekend.
How good's that?
Which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So there is a
cool.
photo kicking around of the two of them where there's 50-plus years of experience in a single photo. Bit of a laugh.
Sammy's been playing since ancient Samaria.
Yeah.
That's
good. The old boy didn't do too bad either. He sort of took a few to get himself going. He played a couple of 1v1s early in the year. But yeah, he's first 5-man he's played in forever, I think. So that was kind of cool. As for results,
since the Romans sacked Carthage, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. For results, Pure took out Division 2, and that gave them the series championship for Division 2 as well. They had a pretty strong roster for the season, so I'd argue they were definitely that team to beat. No word of a lie there, but they were also on that cusp of might have been pushing towards being an open division team rather than just a Division 2 team. But
can't argue.
That can't argue now. That's what they will be, or whatever their team becomes. Western Storm, again, big shout out to them. Those boys have been knocking, and lady have been knocking on the door of taking even just a win all year. They hadn't actually won a match. Won their first match on Sunday, which then also put them through to their first finals, which they did lose, but they have been improving consistently, and it's kind of impressive given they have struggled to hold down a roster. Their roster's solid in terms of the number of guys that keep showing up to training and all the rest, but because they're so young, they haven't got the finances behind themselves. So every event, there's one or two of them that are going, I can't really afford this, or I've got to work. The joys of being young and playing paintball in Australia, it costs a bit. So it's kind of cool to see, even with those sort of hurdles, they keep showing up. And yeah, they've been pushing, and they finally got a result out of it, which was awesome. Then get on to Open Division.
Any guesses? Any guesses, boys?
Yeah. Bunch of new guys.
I know, I've never heard of them. They sound new.
Yeah. So we had Plague and
the guys that were playing for fun, right?
100%. Those guys definitely did play for fun. In third place, we had Plague, who were playing very hungover, given their team captain Stephen Brosius, it was his wife Kirsty's 30th birthday the night before. I think there was a few of them in fine spirits. They were holding up really well. Second, we had Menace, and then just to round it out was us. So SDK won, clean sweep.
Shoot to kill.
Who won? I don't think I've heard of those guys.
Yeah, I know a bunch of new guys. I guess with them every
haven't heard of Shoot to Kill.
I did like that, actually. To me, I'm glad you put that into perspective. That you guessed with STK. You're an Eskimo brother for life, and you guessed with STK.
I'm always an Eskimo brother. We know that. No, I think. Well, I know for a fact Sunday we didn't lose a point, so I think for the season we might have lost 1, maybe 2 points for the entire season.
Sounds like you were shooting to kill.
No, legitimately, I got shot out twice for the weekend. Both were in the first points of matches, and the person that shot me in both those matches didn't get a chance to do it again.
Yeah. Now, this begs the question then. Seeing as WA was the only state to have a full series, you guys unofficial then, Nxl Champions of Australia. Do you get to go to World Cup next year?
I was going to say, do we get a free trip?
Yeah.
I know for a fact that prize is not on offer this year. I think it's we can talk to our major NXL rep there, Kai, but in sympathy of...
Kai's disappeared. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he's disappeared.
In sympathy of everyone over on the East Coast that's been locked down for the better part of 2 years, and the businesses that support those doing it tough for those 2 years, I don't think it'd be nice to be asking anything of anyone's 100%. Wallets at this present second.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more.
Do you know what really sucks though? I get to go with the winning team every year, and
well, you've got the jersey, so
he's got the old jersey. We might have come out with a newer jersey.
And I have played with STK wearing green and gold, but damn, I'd love to play with STK wearing an STK jersey at World Cup. You got to win the next year when everyone's playing, because before I die, I want to do that. and I get to go with the winning team. So, damn, just do it when everyone's playing already, will you? So we can just start.
Well, we've consistently won WA. We just haven't made it over to Victoria to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll obviously keep kicking through. The other big thing out of it was, this is obviously no surprise, but we've already said it. That was the last event on that grass surface.
Sand.
There's a scenario on at Wasp this weekend coming. After that, we'll start digging up the old retic and stuff and relocating and then ripping up the entire surface to prep for the Astro going down.
Which would be pretty cool. That's exciting stuff.
Very much so. So Brad's sort of let's fill in some of the plans he's got going forward, and he's got some great ideas to go on top of what we've been trying to achieve as a team for to help both him and the sport out in WA. So it'd be cool to see if all that can come to fruition.
Yep.
But yeah, hopefully it won't be too long down. So yeah, we'll be having a bit of a break over here in WA on the tournament side of things anyway, until we get that Astro down. And once that's down, I think unofficially we'll run another SDK 1v1 to give away that ring that we haven't given away yet. But yeah, that'd be a nice little launch for that new surface.
Yeah. Speaking of that and turf, I was talking to Mike earlier this week, and he was saying end of January they'll be looking at doing the turf at Action as well. So big resurfacing there for that field. He actually got enough, like he got 600 squares or something. So he's got enough to do the sevens field, the hyperball, and the next field as well. So he was looking at doing that. So the hyperball will be on turf as well.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
So, which will be pretty.
And this
sweet.
is all at Yarra.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
so
okay, cool.
So
I'm assuming and this is not putting anyone on the spot, but I'm assuming the plans to go back to Rouse Hill are probably far in the future, if not ever going to happen.
Well,
have you seen where the field used to be? There's a highway there now.
Yeah, so the highway goes where the road used to go out the front, the dirt track. That's basically a road now.
Oh, okay.
And then it's all development, industrial sheds, and that sort of thing.
John posted a picture saying, "I'm standing in the middle of the pro field," and Russell Kiefer or someone posted, "At least it's flat now."
I don't actually have John on Facebook, so no, I didn't get to see that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah, he posted a picture, and he could be out in the Nullarbor somewhere. He's standing in the middle of a massive, like a freeway in Melbourne. The freeways in Melbourne are.
Well, it's all subdivision.
Something wide, you know what? And he looks like he's literally standing on a runway. It looks like a 747 could land there. Like,
Realistically, I always knew it was going to be hard, if not near on impossible, for them to go back into the location. I know that was what they wanted to do, but at least going forward, they'll be able to go, right, well, we need to refocus in on Yarra. Obviously, the Astro is going to have huge steps forwards on that front.
Yeah. The conversation I was having with Mike too was like they went out there, might have been last week, if not last week, the week before, and picked up a heap of the bunkers off Gallipoli and basically cleared out all those bush fields down the bottom. Now, they were still, like, they can't be built on those fields, so they're still going to be there as bush. But, yeah, they went and got all the bunkers, everything out of all those fields and took them out to Yarra. So, what comes of that in the future, I don't know. But, yeah, that's sort of what was going down. So
that refocus for them might not be a bad thing. Like, I know, like, for Wasp Paintball, for example, when we used to be at Canning Vale, it was great. It was a little course and everything. We had the 9-hole golf course, the bar and all that sort of stuff. And I miss it every day. But that move to Dizzy allowed the business to expand in terms of the size of the fields and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. It wasn't in as good a location. I haven't been to Yarra yet myself, so I can't speak to that side of things. But it just meant we could refocus some of the things that were working well at Canning Vale and then move them to the new location at Dizzy. So there is opportunity in where they're forced into.
Can I just say one of my greatest memories of that old Wasp field ever was a bloke called Silvio, used to work with JT. He came over from Europe. Mac Dev brought him over. And my old boy Simon Borg hid in the bushes naked. Like, I mean...
there's more to this. This is after a full season of building up about drop bears.
Yeah, so we built up this drop bears thing with this guy from Germany. We had convinced this guy that there were drop bears, and you had to have sunglasses on at night, or Borgie made up strips of Vegemite.
Vegemite behind the ears. We didn't have to have it because we all eat Vegemite on toast. So it's already coming out of our paw.
And we convinced this guy. We got him. We convinced him that there was an actual drop bear on the golf course. We put sunnies on and we walked out onto the golf course to the whatever hole, and Borgie literally jumped out of the bushes naked and ran at this guy, and he nearly died. And it was the greatest.
So this was in 2008 that happened, but goddamn, that was fun. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And I've told that story to many people outside of paintball for a long time.
Only Borgie would have the balls to literally run at someone naked, like naked, full.
Like drop bear naked.
Yeah, legit, drop bear naked.
I'm not getting my wang out and running at 30 of my mates. I'm just not doing it.
It was worse than that. This was after an AXL event.
Yeah. There would have been 100 people there. Yeah,
easily, because there was the 3 Wasp teams, the X Fighters, Geelong. Who else came over for that? There was 8 or 9. This is like full X-ball team sort of thing.
Yeah, he literally got his wang out in front of 100 people and ran at them, just flopping it. And this crowd just flipped.
Jesus.
Mental.
Right, speaking of wangs, should we talk about the layout then, Nxl?
Well, hang on. Speaking of wangs, I think we should all congratulate Jonesy because he's obviously works. So congratulations, congratulations on Cedric, mate. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah. The missus has just gone upstairs, so he'll be coming down in a moment. We'll grab him and have a little guest appearance.
Excellent.
Before he has a bit of food. But yeah, thanks, boys.
You're not getting that food for about 9 months, buddy.
Tell you what, he has the enthusiasm on there, and I've been making the joke, and it's not worn thin yet. Like, he's 8 days old today, and I keep saying, just like his daddy, straight for the boob.
Grab one. Did she let you grab one each? Mine, spew. I'd grab one. He was going for it, and I'd be like, I'm grabbing the other one. He'd squirt me in the face to get rid of me. She goes,
nice.
Yeah, it comes out like a fucking super soaker.
Yeah, it does.
Little did she know, I liked it.
So the boy was getting the milk. The missus
welcome back to the chat.
The was milking over the missus milking herself. Oh, gold.
Scotch is working.
Yes.
Mm.
That's interesting.
It's gold.
All right. Let's do this. I have it here.
Speaking of snakes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of snakes.
Ooh.
Did I? Yeah, I got the right one. Whew.
Yep.
That's what we're looking at, guys.
Dynasty's gonna 5-0 everyone on this one.
Mate, they're still recovering from the
You say that
last
every
event, aren't
layout.
they? Yeah, he's got it right. Once.
I think
Yeah.
the one thing we can all agree on is relegation. I think, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
No,
It's a tough-
yeah.
A tough
No,
weekend for AC Diesel or AC Dallas. It's going to be a tough
I see
weekend
Dallas.
for them.
Yeah.
ML
I think
Kings
they have
actually
the
just
toughest
picked
road.
up Grayson. I think I saw
What was that, sorry?
Grayson Gladstone. I believe has jumped onto AC Dallas.
Yeah.
Diesel. Sorry,
Diesel,
for,
yeah.
Okay.
for this
Yeah,
one.
that's
So which is
pretty
good
cool.
because that gives him some more pro exposure and time. Because I know that was
Yeah.
one of the reasons he was cut.
Mm.
It's Kai back in his boys.
No surprises there.
But no, seriously, I know we had a brief chat about this morning, and I made comment about Chad. Like,
Kaiser, have you
getting into
seen
that
this of
quick.
mine? I don't know if it's going to show it now. Look.
yes, I just saw that. I can, yeah, that's amazing.
It's
Lang
cutting in and
jersey.
out.
Eesh.
Yeah.
I do want to say I was quite proud to kick in for that present for your 40th,
Yes.
Jamie. So
In
many
the
years
background,
ago now.
the Lang number 2 with the all the boys' signatures on there. So
Hmm.
little
I-
piece of dragon in me too, mate. So
What's in that frame now, Jamie? Like that jersey was in. What's in that frame?
it's still in. No, it's still in that frame. It's right there, right next to my my old school North Sydney Bears
Oh, Jesus.
North Sydney
jersey.
Bears.
North
Martin
Sydney
Bella.
Bears, mate.
Martin Bella.
I'm
Oh,
very
Bella.
upset. I was hoping that they'd be the expansion team this year in the NRL, so that jersey would actually be worth something. But
Yeah, no, it's not meant to be. Mate.
yeah, no, it's not coming back.
I played
It's not
for
a
the North,
Dolphins jersey.
I played
So
for the North Canberra Bears. I played for the North Canberra Bears growing up.
Canberra Bears. There you go.
Yeah, but shout out to Wimpy. I got home from paintball on Sunday, and this was waiting for me in the mail.
Nice.
Good
Yeah,
man.
nice.
Yep.
What a legend!
What a
Very
legend.
cool.
Seriously,
So is it a poster or is it like
The
banner
banner.
material? Banner
Yeah.
material?
Greenspan.
Vinyl
Yeah.
banner.
Ryan messaged me and gave me the full history on it. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I couldn't be CBF,
Sweet.
but
So the
Technical
layout,
Greenspan
difficulties.
full history on it. It's an old school. It's one of a few made from some. Yeah, it's as old as the hills. It's as old as the pyramids. It's really rare as hen's teeth.
as old as
And
Kai.
Yeah,
Yep.
Wimpy said it to me.
So Kaiser thinks Dynasty are going to dominate this one. just for a,
Something different.
Chocker. It's a
Throw
real
everyone
chocker,
off
that
the
one.
scent.
Yeah.
throw everyone off the scent. I was a bit surprised. They've gone away from a nice big tall bunker at the back centre, so it's that's a bit of a change for Trojan. He hasn't done that for a little while.
Yeah,
good.
look, it's gonna play fast. I would
Yeah.
say. I was going to say interesting, but I'm going to stay away from that.
No, do it.
Hazarding a guess, it will be snake dominant. But it's pretty well split up, kind of like the last event was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last
At least
layout was really good as well.
initially looking at it, I'm sure
Having
it'll break
said
down,
that-
and there'll be quite a lot of cross shots there. But it doesn't look like a huge amount of like natural bounce shots. At least once you get past the Dorito one.
Look, he makes these fields, and we can never pick how they play until they play.
No,
it's
and
crazy,
look,
isn't it?
you can't doubt the man. He's always produced
Yeah,
winners. So
talk about consistent deliverer.
Yeah.
And I
there'll
did
be like
see that.
it will be a case of like how many bodies are going to funnel off to that snake side though.
Yeah.
Because you get to that 50, you're on your own sort of thing. Like no one can see wider. Like there is nothing looking wider than you.
Yeah.
least on that side of the field. So
it is. It's going to be a case like if you get to that 50. And I said this in our chat. Like as long as you win that first gun battle when you get there, mate, it's you're just going to have a field day.
I think you have a few man protect sort of situations happen from like the bricks.
Yep.
On the outsides of that V.
Yeah.
So that's why I say like it'll be a how many bodies are you going to funnel through there?
Yeah.
You might have your guy wide, but you might have a guy in there man protecting as well.
Yeah.
So it's very much another crash and bash field, which is great for entertainment.
Yep.
It's always great to watch when it's like that.
I think
I honestly wouldn't have a clue as to who's going to win this. Like,
no, I think
you'd be an idiot to not deny that Dynasty be coming in as one of the favourites.
Yep.
Heat again, Impact again.
Impact.
Like the top teams like
Russians.
Infamous, X Factor, the Russians. I've heard
if they get a full roster,
I think they might have actually a full roster.
Yeah. Okay.
For Cup, so that in and of itself might have an influence.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, Heat's already practiced, or at least like Chad and Dizon were already out practicing it.
Yep. Yeah, I think teams were starting to get together a little bit earlier this year. Like traditionally, they wouldn't be meeting up until like say today, tomorrow, sort of thing. But I think there was a few starting to meet up last weekend.
The drop, yeah.
I think, less about the drop, but I think more just about time together.
Yeah,
I think that's becoming a bigger thing of late. Like just following social media stories and like Play the Game podcasts when they're talking to different players and about the time that they're spending together. And yeah, like we all know it's hard when we come together as Eskimos. Like we spend the first little bit catching up with each other and then trying to suss a layout out while we're at it.
Yep.
The advantage of always being together, that sort of part of it gets sped up.
Camaraderie is the key, I think. And we always.
You know what I feel not traveling does that. Teams like X Fighters, we would like bros, like full on. Like we stayed at each other's houses, we caught planes together, we stayed in hotels together, we hired cars together, we went to the pub together, we fucking played up together. We did all sorts of shit. I'm strapped getting my team here to go to the field on a Friday to walk the field together.
Yeah.
Like true story.
Look,
No, I agree.
But it's
a having a team in
story around the country. Like
we're not bros.
Half of our successes come from our consistency of consistency of lineup, but two, consistency of spending time together.
Yeah.
It doesn't always equate. I mean, Menace. I know you're watching, Justin. So
eat it.
But no, like the more consistent you are with lineup, like we all know this. Like we went through this when I joined the Eskimo team. Like we've gone over this story before. We had our feeling out period, and then we sort of got to mesh and gel over that weekend, and things clicked. Yeah. And then thankfully, it didn't take that long to click.
That's right.
But if you are all local, and I will use the example of the core of the Envious guys, who are now obviously the core of the main Eskimo team, they're all local boys. They're all consistent together, with the exception of
go have dinner, they go have barbecues.
And that's the big thing. I think with the NVS boys and even though they sort of joined us in round one earlier this year, it was very much, we were kind of joining them as much as they were joining us. And, it was like, we're all staying at, Ben's place. We're all going to Ben's house for dinner. All the other boys come over. So Carl and the local boys, Jared and that came over. We had dinner together. Sorry, you are a local there now, aren't you? But it was that, and I guess we always did that with the Eskimos. We didn't have too many locals. Nathan became one, but we always
everyone else used to congregate in.
We
had the house, and everyone come over, and it was multiple teams, but we still bonded.
It was a good way.
And
but it was a good way of doing it, man. Like it really was.
Except for having to pick up the anchor at 11 o'clock at night sometimes. That was a bit
from the airport,
brutal.
The anchor. Yeah, but like we had practiced before in between one of the lockdowns, and I said, who wants to? We used to go to the pub all the time after. The old cartel was like Sean Patrick, Jack Werner, Sean Werner, Slugger, Morgs, and we were bros.
Yep.
And and we had practice a few weeks ago. Like, we didn't have practice a few weeks ago. That's bullshit. A few months ago, before the last lockdown.
2 lockdowns ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 lockdowns. Literally. And I was so stoked to see everyone. I think I was the only one that was. And I was like, after practice, there's a pub next to the field. I go, we going to the pub for a feed? And it was like crickets and tumbleweed. And one of the boys, I'm not going to name who, looked at me and goes, I guess that's a no. And I was like, I just went, fuck you guys. I just got in my car and I was like, I'm starting my own fucking team. Like seriously? Like
SDK2.
Eskimo Brothers, Melbourne, mate.
shut up, Connor.
Yeah.
SDK.
Victorian
I've got
edition.
Zach's
Yeah.
hand, Tim's eye.
Yeah.
Damo's not.
Mate,
If
but
I
yeah,
build them, they will be my bros.
but I agree. It is what paintball was to me, and it's the thing I'm going to miss the most. I enjoyed playing the game, but I wasn't hyper competitive like many of you, and that's blatantly obvious. But what I enjoyed was the bros, the camaraderie, and that is by far the biggest thing I'm going to miss. And you know, and it is what made us great, I believe.
Yeah.
When I lived in,
we had the results or not.
I agree, Jamie, and that's what I really miss living here. When I lived in Sydney, I was an ex-fighter, and it meant something, and I was hyper competitive, and I played with Bancroft, and I played with Macca, and I played with Robber, and I played with Plucker, and I played with Avilas, and we were bros, you know what I mean? I played with Sus, I played with Sully, I played with Louis, and we hung out. We went out with each other. We went out we went to barbecues, we went to Guns N' Roses, we went to the Foo Fighters, we went to whatever the fuck we went to, but we went there. And we traveled around Australia together, and we went to the gym together, and we did shit. And, you know, like the lockdown,
that's what makes a team,
the other day, the lockdown, PPC, massive example, you know, and the lockdown finished here the other day after 4 months, and 7 people rocked up to Sniper's Den. 6, I think.
But that was the first weekend after lockdown finished in Sydney. I went out and there were like 4 of the Marauders boys turned up. Brandon Miller from SWAT turned up, and I played bushball with, I think there were 14 people turned up for the bushball day. So I went and kicked it with bushball with them, and then all those guys ended up playing bushball as well, which was, you know, it turned out a good little day of bushball.
It's 20 more than we had.
Yeah, but and it was, you know, it was interesting that more of the bushballers turned up than, you know, the tawny players. So a couple of the Wicked Assassins were out there on Saturday, which they tend to go out on Saturday and do their own thing, practice drills and that sort of stuff, and not so much do scrims with other teams, which is pretty cool and good on them. But yeah, I don't know who turned up this weekend. I was busy doing baby things, and I really didn't care, to be honest. So,
I mean,
hey, Jordo went out, didn't he? Gaddy went out.
Yeah, Gaddy went out. I don't know who else went out, though.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But yeah, there's, you know, murmurings that there'll be a few more people out there this weekend, but, you know, that's still 3 weeks after it comes back.
Okay, in everyone's defense of, like, not showing straight up after a lockdown, I mean, yeah, okay, I am one of those idiots like the rest of us that would have gone straight to the field. Yep. But I'd imagine when you guys haven't been able to go too far for so long, and potentially if you've been working through that whole time anyway, you probably have a few other people that are pretty damn important to your life and things to do that you've got to jump on. And unfortunately, like, your sport ends up being like second or third rung down thing. So with that, so 2 or 3 weeks in is probably not a bad thing to expect. And for people to sort of suss out, okay, how's this all going to go? Is this going to be like, oh, we go out for a day and then we're going back into lockdown?
Yeah.
Well, shit, maybe we need to prioritize what to go and do. I've got to go.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like in the
cities.
I
just miss the boys. I
get what you're saying, Kai. Like, I really,
I miss Jack.
Yeah,
I want to hang out with Slug. I want to hang out with Patches. I want to hang out with Jack.
I miss Patches. We all miss Patches.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't know Patches.
You'd miss
paintball. You'd meet him once and you'd miss him.
Yeah. You'd be a man crush from way back. You'd be
So, ugliest calves in Australia now.
Ugliest calves.
Brutal. You sent me a picture. Like
biggest ass in the snake ever. But,
he looks like a staffy. He's like a staffy.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know,
a staffy is what's been chewed on by a pit bull.
That's why he's called Wombat, mate, because he's got the ass bigger than a wombat. It's, you know, nose down, ass up. Along that
Speaking of that,
size.
wait,
He's exactly the same size as one.
He
Probably
brings
break your
Paige
legs if you
along.
ran into him.
He brings Paige along. She's good to look at. That's fine. We like that.
I was just going to say earlier, you guys know, I'm in the tourism business, and I don't know what it's like in the cities at the moment, but mate, it's quiet as hell out here as far as tourism, as far as cafe activation. I've got a couple of cafes I run now as part of my businesses, and it's quiet. It's really quiet. Tourism shot up massively after the last lockdown. It was ridiculous regional tourism, and at the moment it's ghost towns in my facilities.
You reckon it's people just feeling things out and trying to figure out what they can...
I think there's a real reluctance and a hesitation. We've been through a pretty bad media blitz of, fear, and get vaccinated, get vaccinated, and whatever side of that you sit on, I don't care. But, it has emotionally affected people, and they're beautiful spring days. Like Dubbo has very few weeks where the weather's actually tolerable. It's normally freezing cold or boiling hot, and it's beautiful weather at the moment. And ghost town, mate, ghost towns.
Wow,
and it's not just us. I know all the regions are the same at the moment. So I'm not sure what it's like
in
in
New
cities,
South Wales. If you're doing nothing, go
Yeah.
regions. Now's the time to go for your holiday.
Now's the time to go. Yep, absolutely.
Well,
because we're slammed.
Gym's open again. Gym's open again here tomorrow night at 6 p.m. So, and I'm the personal training manager of a massive gym in a big area. So it's going to be interesting. You got to be doubled to get in, and we'll see how we go.
I think that's from what I noticed, the amount of people that think it's just too hard to go to shops, and to go out. It's easier to stay at home and just buy shit now.
I think that's part of it, Josie. I agree.
Go to the shops, line up.
Online's taking a huge up.
Scan in. Now I've got to show my vaccination. Are they going to question me? What if, it's just too hard, man. I've found, having the baby, going to the hospital, you had to check in at the hospital, show your double vax.
His name's Cedric, and he's a person.
The wee little war chief.
Yes. Yep. War leader. So when we had Cedric,
is it CJ already or what?
I was going to say totally.
So heading that way.
I don't know, as you know, when he was the missus was 18 weeks or 16 weeks pregnant, I got this app because you all know I like me apps. There was an app and it said, your baby now is covered in.
Yeah. Is this a sponsored section?
Mate, I have a baby. How could I be on Grindr?
No more up in the bum, no baby. Up in the bum, no.
Anyway, so on this app, it said that your baby, is covered in fine hair called Lugano or whatever it is, and he'll look like a little Yeti. So he just sort of got nicknamed Yeti all through the pregnancy.
Yeah.
So he still gets that now. He still that's just what he gets called mostly. So
that's cool.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so you go to the hospital, you got to check in, you got to show your double vax, you got to prove your test in the last 72 hours. You go to the ward, you got to sign in again, you got to fill out the form, you got to show your double vax, you got to show your test in the last 72 hours. And it's just people, I think, yeah, exactly. It's hard work. People don't want to, they go there. It's ridiculous.
And there's a lot of aggro flying around.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. And people don't want that. People just don't want the hassle. I agree with you. And we went out first weekend in Dubbo. Dubbo opened up and there was a new restaurant. We got a Japanese restaurant in town, a new one that's pretty flash and not flash, but pretty good. And we jumped at the chance. They opened a week before the lockdown in Dubbo. So they had 1 weekend of operation and then lockdown. So they were struggling, and we were supposed to go that
motherfuckers.
Yeah, we were supposed to go that first weekend of lockdown, and we didn't. And we went, and I'm like, this place is going to be packed. We've got to get in and get our shit sorted. And honestly, the restaurant was a third, 2/3 full, maybe half full. I was amazed. I thought every man and his dog would just be busting to get out. No, and it hasn't improved in 3 weeks. It's the same everywhere. Cafes.
I would have thought you would have started seeing at least an uptick by now. Like after
no.
3 weeks, I would have thought.
No, we had a
maybe
busy
after.
at my cafe at the building that I work in that I now look after. We had a busy morning, and I went out there at lunchtime, and there was probably 4 people in the restaurant at lunchtime, and it's normally 80 people we would normally have for lunch on a Thursday.
We went to a cafe. Like my missus used to live in Dulwich Hill, so the weekend before we had Cedric, the person. We went to this cafe for breakfast on the Saturday morning. So just as a little, hey, she wanted to go to the old cafe with her gut hanging out to here, and just, it was just nice. So we went there, and we were surprised. Like, we walked straight into a table, and that place before lockdown, you'd normally have to get there pretty early to get a table. Like, it's the cafe to go to in Dulwich Hill. And
crazy, isn't it?
We walked straight in, got a table, good as gold, So I think it's for all their hopes.
Okay.
What's that?
Was your missus okay? She just had a baby and she walked into a table.
Yeah, before the baby.
She was pregnant and she walked into a table.
Yeah,
You're a crap fucking partner, Jones.
I have never said to you, "G'day, my name's Jones and I'm a good guy," have I? Let's just get this out in the open now. See, so if you made that mistake of thinking I was, more fool on you. So.
I think so hopefully, I suppose, from that convo, I'm hoping what that means is that society in general is slow, and not just paintballers.
Yeah.
So hopefully things will pick up. I suppose where I was going is that the paintballers might be a bit slow, but I think that's just everyone, and fingers crossed we get an uptake. Dwayne and I discussed it not that long ago about the potential downturn. A lot of people are changing priorities, because of COVID, and that's whether it's sport or their job or whatever. So if now is certainly the time, and I think we mentioned it the last time I was on, now's the time to drag your mate out there and get some new people in the game, because I think a lot will leave for multiple reasons and nothing to do with the game at all.
Yeah, I think it'll be a case of people have just had their eyes open to something else, and that's all it is. And now it's they've got used to something else as well. The fitness industry, for example, they've got used to going for a walk at the dog park. They don't need the gym anymore. They've got used to their 2 dumbbells at home and doing their little circuit at home.
And a lot of people bought gym equipment, and it's a scary time for some industries because priorities are changing for people. Tourism industries, art galleries, where so many art galleries that, again, I look after art galleries, and our one, we're really conscious that some significant major art galleries now, I can go and look at, the art gallery of New York online. If I can look at that, do I need to go to my local art gallery? Because I'm looking at the best art in the world through media that wasn't accessible before, because, they wanted people to go to the physical gallery, but during this period, everyone created virtual tours. So, it's interesting. I don't know what it means moving forward, but I think some industries are changing.
I think ultimately people will roll with it for even a short term, but I think eventually everyone's going to get bored of it.
Hopefully. I want to see people back in galleries. I want to see people. Yep.
I didn't go through what you guys have gone through.
Exactly.
I don't know, Connor, you haven't really either, but I'm a homebody. I can stay at home a bit. It doesn't bother me that much, but I'll use, maybe not an art gallery, but I do actually go to art galleries, but the museum, for example.
Yeah, I like that stuff
things
too.
like that.
Yep.
I find it interesting. Hell, I could happily look at an online virtual tour, but that would more make me want to go there and check it out in person.
Yeah.
And we discussed that in length, actually, mate. We discussed that a lot. Exactly that.
Because I think, cool. You're going to have your period. Yeah.
I love going to stuff like that. I mean, people look at me and they go, that's just this really hot drunk guy. But I'm more than that.
He's a multi-layered person. Yeah.
That really
hot
guy.
I'm more than that.
Well,
you're a brain too. You're a brain too, guy.
Just on that, I go to an art gallery once a year, just to, see the Archibald. And that's the only time I go.
You're only saying that because that's the only competition that you know the name of, isn't it?
That's the only time I've ever gone to an art gallery. The last 3 years, mate. I've went to the Archibald twice in Tamworth, one in Sydney.
I'm impressed. Well, when you come out, I will take you.
I wanted to see those, the terracotta warriors.
Yeah.
I'd wanted to see them since I was a little kid, right? I got blackout fucking drunk and went.
Kai's best stories always start with, I got blackout.
Speaking of blackout, he just blacked out on the screen, mate.
I was going to say, just
Drunk
blacked
he
out.
was.
It's gonna be a good
His
story. Everyone
feed just
strap
blacked
in.
out. That's how bad this story is.
Strap in.
I wanted to see them. I had a poster of them in my room when I was a little kid. I got fucking blackout. And then the next day I was like, we went to the Terracotta Warriors, right? My missus is showing me all these photos and I'm like, in front of them and I'm like, fuck.
Did
I
we?
remember it.
Yeah, I didn't get one serious photo.
I waited 40 fucking years to do that. Fuck.
Good reason to go back, mate. Good reason to go back.
100%,
Yeah.
mate. So, yeah.
They're
good
not
on.
coming back.
Get back- you
No, go
Tom.
there. Go
Chase
there.
him down.
And I'm
mate.
banned. And I'm
You're
banned.
banned.
Yeah.
Go to the actual ones.
The only bloke I know that's got a life ban from the art gallery.
Fuck.
Oh, righto.
Mm.
So, do we want to talk a little bit more about the layout?
Yeah, I was going to say, we didn't talk about the
Paintball.
layout much.
Oh, we're
Well,
talking about paintball.
To be honest, that probably
Yeah.
gives us something to talk about next week because we're coming into that bit of the season where, Connor, you guys got anything else on for the rest of the season?
Nope.
Yeah, we're
Training.
done.
That's
We've
that
got
done then.
we got
No,
the Yarra
but-
10 man. We got the Yarra 10
Yeah,
man.
I was going to say we do have you guys have got the Yarra 10 man coming up December.
Yep.
When's
For
that?
that?
5th of December.
Weekend of the 5th or
I might
6th or
come down
whatever
and
it is.
visit you for that one.
Why don't you come and play, mate? Strap on your boots.
Yeah, I might.
Won't
Yeah,
be a
Steve,
10
that
man. Won't be a
retirement
10
didn't last
man
long.
without you, James.
Yeah, righto. Have you got a team going? Have you registered one?
I've registered. I told Mike, you know, I've got a team coming. He goes, yeah, that's fine.
So
I said,
you and Gaddy
"That's fine."
so far on the roster, and
No, I've
It's
got
not
Kyle
the city-
Bettler
it's not the
too.
city
I've got
team.
Kyle
oh,
Bettler.
that's
and
right. I
Belly.
did see Cole.
And
Cole
It's
Belly.
not the
yeah.
city team. It's not the city team from the country city because you're not allowed to play if it is.
Yeah.
I might actually wear that jersey next week, soon as I've only got to wear it once.
Yeah. I haven't worn mine at all.
Speaking of jerseys, I did, however, got asked to do the presenting of the new firearms safety course for New South Wales
Reese,
gun license.
motherfucker.
So they wanted me there in all my kit. So I turned up with my PB Athlete Eskimo Brothers jersey. Did my
Mate.
to the camera, working with the auto cue. So it was very very cool.
When's that come
Um,
out? When's that drop?
Look, it should be, they were saying a month, so it should be out end of November. So anyone that does do their paintball license from now on will get to see my mug with the Eskimo Brothers jersey in there, the juggernaut that is the Eskimo Brothers.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Fresh in
That
their
is very
face.
cool. That is
So,
very
Cool.
Yeah, I was pretty chuffed about that when Mike hit me up.
on your mic.
Yeah, so the
On your-
guys from TAFE were there, so it wasn't an action paintball or paintball shop productions production. It was TAFE New South Wales that were doing all the setting up for fair trading. So we just went in and used a backdrop at Mike's shop and used his guns, and he gets no advertising or no money out of it whatsoever until
You'll
people
get
decide
plenty of
to buy
registrations, I bet. So
until people
Until they
decide
go
to
to the
buy a
biggest
gun and a
store in
mask.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest store in Australia. Yeah.
So, but they were pretty anal about it. Like we had bottle covers with paintball shop on them, and they said, no, you can't use those bottle covers, mate. It's got to come off. So, but yeah, it was pretty.
Mike
great.
Did they
Mike
tape
was
over
crying in
any
the
of my
corner, was he?
jersey?
Or
Yeah, he was. crying what $2 coins. So
That's one of those.
Oh, right,
play
you'll
the
get it
game,
back,
you're
Mike,
still
don't
gonna
worry.
end up better on the
Yeah.
other side of it. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it did feel really good to say that, you know, I'm Nathan James, captain the Eskimo Brothers, the
That's
2020 and 2021 Australian champions. So that was quite nice to be able to say that on the
Did
video.
you actually?
Did you put on
Did
all
you
the
say that?
series
Fucking
ring?
oath.
Like,
My guy.
absolute gold, mate.
They don't need to know. They don't need to know there are only 2 tournaments. All right.
Yeah,
Fuck.
don't let the
yeah,
truth
yeah,
get in
yeah.
front of a good story, mate.
Yeah. Fuck, come on.
In 10 years, which is how long that shit's going to run for. When
At
people look
least,
back
mate. It's
At
taken New South
least.
Wales.
for
I
that.
say
Yeah.
20 years at least.
At
It's government,
least.
dude.
ooh,
Golf
Oh,
clubs,
that's
brother.
gold.
Golf clubs.
Thank you.
On
So
your
that
jersey.
it was good. It was good to be able to throw that in there.
classy. Yeah.
So,
Tiger endorses. Tiger reports.
yeah.
Yeah, Tigers.
Love it.
Oh, actually, this is Axel with that hair condition, isn't it?
Yes. The Yeti.
Good boy, Axel. Ducky.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Anything else you want to add, gentlemen?
No, I'll have a proper yarn about layout next week. We might have a chance to have seen some things over the weekend with the pros getting out and getting onto it.
Yep. That's a good call. Very good.
But yeah, I dare say before we even get close to it, it's definitely going to be a crash and bash 'em, and it's pretty much anyone's event.
I don't think that favours anyone, that layout. I think anyone, the Dorito side strong, the centre strong, the snake strong. And if the team that puts all those three elements together quickly will be the team that demolishes people. So
that will be this team. That will be this team.
I can't read that, man. What's that font?
About it as well.
What's that font? Oh, that's right. That was done before they had computers. It's hand drawn.
Yeah.
So.
I was about to say, thinking about it,
before the flash in the pan heat came into the flash in the pan before heat.
God. Oh, yeah, nice.
I go for heat because I met one of them once. You pricks.
Mate, I go for heat because my brother Chad is on there. Now, if you want to know how close Chad and I are, just scroll through those comments on my baby announcement, mate. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I reserve the right to hang shit on my Eskimo brothers at will.
And in all fairness, mate, I reserve that right for you as well.
Yeah.
So, all right. There's only a few certain people that are allowed to do that. Oh, fuck it. Anyone can. Who am I kidding?
Yeah. Everyone does. So.
Yeah.
But just remember, I was the captain of the 20 and 2021 champions.
Yeah.
Australian champions, mate. Get it right. Australian champions.
Well, it used to be Australian New Zealand champions.
Check it out on the
Australasia champions.
Australasia, that's right.
Yep.
Very good.
Legend.
Got to make your own history. So
the winner's write the history, mate. Winner's right. I'm with you, guy.
Just like Kai's got the pictures when he
can do.
Just like Kai's got the pictures when he uncovered the terracotta soldiers, mate. So
I've seen them.
No, you were uncovering them, mate. I heard.
I know I was there because I've seen the photos.
Oh, very good. All right. Well, on that note, we might leave it there. We will see you all again next week. Brother Timmy, thank you. Connor, thank you. Kaiser, thanks for checking in as always. And Jamie, good to see you, brother. And thanks for coming on.
See you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, boys. Thanks for having me again. Even though I wasn't invited, I just jumped in.
Hey, always.
You don't need to invite.
It may happen again. I'll just see how I go.
The Godfather. Mate,
I missed you.
I
missed you, Bob. So I jumped in for a chat.
Mate, the link's always there. Anytime you want to click it, feel free.
Beautiful. Will do.
The amount you've done for Australian paintball, Jengis,
please.
You jump on bases anytime you want. We will grind to you.
That's why I'm here.
Grinding faces.
Good to see you, gentlemen. As always, love yous.
Good to see you all. Thanks, boys. Bye.
Bye.